Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So this video was made possible by a company called Grabie. They are a relatively new online retailer, and they have products ranging from watercolors and markers, journals, paper, scrapbooking supplies, all the way to craft storage. So Grabie sent me a pack of 80 different die cuts. So there were 8 packs and there were 10 pieces per pack, and all of them are completely different. I think that they're made out of a pretty decent quality paper. They're still thin enough that you could glue them to the page or put them wherever you want in your journal, but you could still coffee stain them if you wanted to. So this is just a super versatile pack of papers that you can use pretty much on every single page. So in my opinion, this is like a staple of journaling, and they'll easily go with pretty much anything else that you put on the page. And in this video, I'm actually going to show you 5 different ways to use these die cuts, as well as 2 other purchases that I made from Grabie, to create 5 super simple journal layouts. So right now, Grabie is offering 15% off of your entire purchase with the coupon code Ashley15. I will link their information as well as this product and the coupon code in my description box if you're interested in checking them out. From the website, I also ordered this box of washi tapes. These are all gold foil washi tapes, and they're all floral and in different colors. So they're just beautiful and perfect to have. I also got this 8-pack of quotes, and I really love these quotes because each pack contained a different theme. They all come in a black and clear version, and they all have different fonts, which you don't see that often in other sets. So I really love this set of quotes as well, and I plan to use all 3 of these items in this video. So with that being said, let's get started. So on this first page, I am using one of the paper die cuts that Grabie sent me, and I'm just going to simply put one of the quote stickers down beneath that die cut. This is like the simplest page layout that you can do, and it takes 0 time, but you at least get to do some journaling in the process. And if you guys know me, I have 4 kids, and one of them is 6 months old. So finding time to journal is really difficult for me right now. So having a simple layout like this, I can still do some journaling and get my creative juices flowing, but I don't have to spend a lot of time on a really intricate page. So for the second page layout, this one will be pretty simple as well. I'm just going to make kind of like a belly band page, and I'm just going to tuck some journaling cards behind it. So I'm using double-sided tape to tape down a piece of scrapbook paper, and I'm going to use that scrapbook paper as the actual belly band, and then I will embellish the belly band with one of the paper die cuts that I received from Grabie. So this is one of the like lace trim die cuts, and I'm just gluing that directly on top of the paper, and then I'm going to embellish it further with some Tim Holtz die cuts as well. So a lot of the time I don't have a great deal of ephemera to use on my pages, and I think these layouts are great for if you want to do maybe a little bit more writing, or if you just have like pictures and you just kind of want to tuck them into your journal just to keep the memory, but you don't really have a lot of things to put down on the page alongside it. These page layouts, and in particular this one, are just super easy for you to tuck some writing or tuck some photos in behind a belly band and just call it a day. This is actually a piece of paper that I embossed, and I'm just going over it with this gilding polish. This is from Creative Expressions. I will link this product in the description box for you guys if you're interested. And then I'm also going to just tuck this piece of ephemera in behind that embossed card just to give myself some writing space. So as you can see, I didn't do anything with that embossed card, but I did tuck a photo in, and I just put a little label on the front of that piece of ephemera and used that ephemera as a journaling card. So for the next layout, I really wanted to use some of my new washi tape. So what I did was I put some washi tape that I didn't really care about. So I'm basically going to use this washi tape as like painter's tape, and it's just going to block off an area where I'm going to do some painting.
Yeah.
So I'm using a black gesso for this, but obviously you could use any color that you want. I just really like the look of writing on top of black paint or a black page in general. So that's what I wanted to do here. So I'm just painting this block, and then once it dries, I'm going to remove that washi tape and I'll put down some of my new washi tape. So as you can see, the washi tape gives me a nice crisp line, and I will put my new washi tape along the edges. So my new washi tape is a little bit sheer, and I didn't really want the paper to show through. So I'm using a white washi tape. This is an MT tape. If I can find somewhere that sells it, then I will link that in the description box as well. But I'm just putting that around the border first, and then I'll put my new washi tape down on top of that. So on top of the black paint, I'm actually going to use a gold marker, but you could also easily use a white pen of some sort. But I think the gold marker really gave it a cool effect. So for the next page layout, I'm actually going to do something just slightly more intricate than the previous layouts. I'm going to create 2 tuck spots for 2 of these embossed tags that I made. So I'm just using Tim Holtz wallpaper, which I will link in the description box as well. And I'm just going to use those as the actual tuck spots, and I'm just going to decorate them with some of the die cuts as well as another set of quote stickers. So I'm just gluing the die cut directly on top of my my little pocket. So like I said, I'm going to put a quote on top of that die cut. I'm just cutting the quote down to fit on top of my tuck spot, and I will stick those down in a moment. And I'm going to use a circle punch to create kind of like a little notch on the side of my pocket as well. So I thought at first that maybe I wanted to use this flower die cut, but I felt like it didn't really stand out as well as I had hoped that it would. So I did try to go around the edges of it with a black pen just to kind of make it feel like it fit on the page a little bit better, but I do end up changing that later. So to create the pockets, I just used some double-sided tape around 3 edges of my paper, and I'm leaving that notched edge open so that I can tuck my tags in later. I stuck one of the pockets at the top of the page and the other pocket at the very bottom of the page. And in between those 2 pockets, I decided that I wanted to use one of these little metal pieces. These are Tim Holtz as well. And of course, I will link them in the description box for you guys if you are interested in getting those. So I just used my awl and poked holes where I wanted that piece to go, and I'm just poking them directly through the page. I'm going to put brads through them, and then later off camera I will actually put a pocket or something like that on the back side of that page just to cover up those brads. So I go ahead and stick down my quote now. I'm just deciding where I want to put it and how I want everything to kind of go together. So with the tags that I tucked in the pockets, I'm just using a little bit of sari silk to make a little tie at the top. I cut the ties quite long, but I will go back and shorten those up a little bit later. So as I mentioned earlier, my tags are embossed. It's just something that I made a while ago. So I decided to use some more of that gilding polish, which will be linked in the description box as well. And I'm just kind of going over the embossing just a little bit just to make it stand out. I did kind of mess this up right there, but I'll go back and fix that later. So I'm using 2 different colors of gilding polish and just going over the embossing just a little bit just to make it pop. That's not a necessary step, but I think it looked cool. So on the back side of these tags, obviously when you emboss a tag, it's embossed all the way through. So it would be very difficult to write on the back of the tag, but I really wanted to give myself some writing space. So I typically would cover the back of the tag prior to punching a hole in it. But of course, these are not handmade tags. These were actually purchased. So they already had the holes in them and the reinforcers on them and everything. So I'm just going to use a little bit of cardstock and just glue that to the back of my tags to give myself some space to write. It's not the most beautiful thing, but it's also my journal, and like, I don't really care. I like the ability of being able to write on a tag. I'm very utilitarian, so if it doesn't have a purpose to me, it's kind of pointless. You know what I mean? So I just stuck those papers on the back of the tags, nothing fancy, and stuck those back in the pockets. And this is when I finally decide I'm going to cover up that flower die cut. I really loved the flower die cut, but I just felt like it did not work as well on this page. I did try to pull it up, but it wouldn't come up at that point. I had already spent way too much time letting the glue dry. So I decided to use a different die cut. This is a square doily, and I put that on the bottom tuck spot instead. So again, I'm just gluing that down, and I'm going to use a quote over top of it. I feel like it's totally okay to make mistakes, and you just go with what you feel like looks the best, and if you mess up, then just cover it up. It's no big deal. So I'm using a different quote on the bottom tuck spot, and I think that makes the page kind of work better together. So for the last page layout, I'm going to use a piece of scrapbook paper, and I'm just going to make kind of like a gatefold page, which literally I'm just folding in two sides of the scrapbook paper, and I'm going to cut it down to the size of my page. So I'm kind of giving myself an idea of where I'm supposed to cut, and yeah, that's it. It just opens like a gate. And I'm going to use one of the butterfly die cuts that was in the package as well. And I'm actually going to cut it directly in half. And I'm going to use that on each one of the gate folds, if you will. So the first thing I decide to do is go ahead and stick this page down. I'm actually going to use double-sided tape because I do have one picture that I want to put in this spread later. So I kind of wanted to give myself a little pocket at the top. I could have notched that pocket as well, like I did with the tag tuck spots, but I didn't. In hindsight, maybe I should have, but I didn't. No big deal. And now I'm just going to use my glue stick to glue down these little butterfly die cut pieces. I love these layouts because it looks like you've spent a whole lot of time doing them, but literally they took me less than 5 minutes each to make. So now I am punching a hole on each of the gatefolds, and I'm going to use an eyelet in them. That's not necessary, but I do plan on putting a ribbon or something in there to tie it closed. But again, if you don't use eyelets or anything like that, you could just put holes through them and use a ribbon or something. It's not necessary. But I am using this maybe thicker lace, so I feel like it kind of needs an eyelet just to make sure it doesn't rip later. So on the inside, I just did some writing and tucked my photo in behind that gatefold. And that is it. Super simple. So I hope you guys got a lot out of this video. I hope that you can find the time to do even just the minimal journaling. Definitely check out Grabie, and thank you so much, Grabie, for allowing me to make this video for you guys. I am going out of town for the week. I guess I'll shut everything down on Thursday, so my Etsy shop will be closed for a week. But when I get back, I will have lots of things to journal about, so expect to see another junk journal with me very soon. I'm also finished with this journal. I may fill in a few more pages, but for the most part, it's pretty much done. So I will have a flip through of this journal for you guys very soon, and hopefully a new journal to show you guys as well. So I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.